Mr. Emmanuel Ngobo Ozoza Ngaphambili, who is the Sikh Pharaoh chairperson in KZN, who's also a speaker and a facilitator, a man who is an agent of change, who continues to show us that he believes that together we can do more. May we give him a round of applause.
People are doing well, and it's important to recognize who and what you have. That's what the speaker of yesterday, Mr. Hlongwane, indicated as well. You know, what Guaduguza is starting to do by identifying who owns properties within the Guaduguza local municipality, those high-profile people, so they can see what can they leverage against those people who are residing, Bali and all of that, because they've got those people. And now looking at some of the graduates who have come out within those schools around the area to say, you know what, you are now there, but you are from here. You know, what can you do for the local municipality so that we can all do what we actually have? So for me, that was quite profound. And that is what we always also strive for. That is why, you know, there's my good friend here that I've met, and he always assists us in doing what we do. And as I said yesterday, usually he will charge not a big money, small money for these things, but for us, he graciously does it for me. So thank you very much, Mr. Kwanyana. That's what we thought. This time, he did make mention as well of why we're doing what we're doing as Sikh Pharaoh in terms of these awards. We all have heard the challenges and the picture that has been painted around local government. Yes, it is bad. There's no point of trying to cover code things. It's really bad out there. If you look at the ages, audit outcomes, besides the figures and all these other things, but in general terms, things are not looking good. And that translates now, the impact is to the people, the community, who actually now get to suffer because of what is happening in respect to municipalities. That's a true reality of the thing. So just for us now, as we do what we do, Sikh Pharaoh is saying, I did mention yesterday, two things. Our objective is to improve audit outcomes in the province and the return of financial sustainability for municipalities. That's what we are driving at. We are trying our level best, but obviously it's the people out there who must do what they need to do. The officials that are employed, we can just only develop them, capacitate them in all the sessions that you always have. That is what we are driving. But the will has to be there, because without the will of the officials and also the leadership to make sure that things get done, then we can shout and scream and preach and do everything. But then the ball is now on the court of the respective municipalities. Ubaba Ukwalaya is talking of synergies. There are municipalities that are doing well. You can just make a phone call. How do you do what you do? If it means you spend a day or two to visit those particular municipalities so you can learn how they do it. Because I can tell you one thing, we've all got the similar challenges. As I indicated in my municipality, the past 2 weeks or so, last week, it was shut down. There were protests because of some other political issues that were happening. I'm sure they've heard in the news. But that does not mean that now everything must collapse in the municipality. The leadership is ensuring that they're doing their best in controlling and managing the situation and making sure that governance issues are not affected. They are trying their level best in light of what is happening. Because it's no use, because we've got challenges, now everything takes a backseat. We just need to ensure that how can we learn from others, how can we synergize, and I'm like what Mr. Gola is saying, not just for the sake of having relationships, but a relationship specifically, what am I looking for from this relationship that I have? I know you're doing well in revenue collections and management in this particular area. What can I benefit and gain out of this particular synergy that I actually have? And that will be able to get the outcomes that we actually have. And we'll always create these platforms of engagement, collaborations, and that is how then we can all grow as municipalities, especially when it comes to local economic development, because that's one of the critical areas. If we can grow that, definitely. You know, when there's no money, there is always frustration, even as a kaya. That's a reality of things. But if you think about money, things are, you know, not that money makes things happen, but it does make life comfortable. So if we can grow, you know, the money that we have, the basis that we have, it does eliminate some problems and bring some convenience. Because it right. And it becomes important when it comes comes to revenue collections and revenue base and all of those issues that have been touched on, that we really truly focus on those particular issues. So at this point in time, these awards, in terms of the criteria, we have not just thumbs up what we came up with as the committee that worked on this, and I even distanced myself so that I don't seem to be biased. We had provincial treasury working on it. One of our committee members was part of this, as well as Ukokta, and one of the rep from Umsalga, who's also part of the committee, as I did introduce them yesterday. So the actual awards are based on two documents. One is the Aegis report, which does state who has done better than others, if you read it, as well as the COCTA submission that goes to the provincial legislature after all the financials have been audited and everything, and then basically pull out information from there to say that is what we're using as our basis, so that we don't seem to be favoring anyone and try to eliminate any adverse talks around that particular issue. So we have about 7 of them, which we want to honor today, and also just push them to keep on doing what they're doing, and also others to learn from and be inspired by what others are doing. I will see, okay, Bahlonishwa bam. Is that right, Bahlonishwa? So at this time, I just want to ask Ms. Peters, one of our assistants, to help us, as well as Bume from COCTA. Is she here? Bume from COCTA to come through, to be here so that we can then hand over these awards. I'm going to start with the Auditor General Awards in terms of the information that we took from the Aegis report. If anyone wants to audit it, you can audit it. You are most welcome. We can show you all the details around it. So at this time, I'm going to call upon Okahlamba Local Municipality. There is something that, you know what, they've actually started, they've got a conference center that they've now got. I think Minimec was there, Mayor Posisi recently. And they've also approached us as Usikfaro to see how can we assist them in fully maximizing that conference venue that they have as well. Because they can, from what I spoke about yesterday, look at the Durban July, how much of the economic spin-off is happening in eThekwini just because of one-day event. And now they listen to what I was mentioning earlier, and they are coming forward to say, let's work and make this thing happen. And that is why now I will be much willing to engage and assist them into saying, how can we actually do that and spring out what we have? Because definitely if we can get more conferences coming in there, definitely people will spend their money. And apparently, and people, they are willing to pay for those particular drinks. I'm not sure you must store those drinks, but I know they are always there. But it means that people will bring their money and buy those drinks in your particular area. Because it means people do have money, and they're never shy to spend money on these nice drinks. I'm going to talk on a blue, on a black, and all these nice colors of these drinks. But what it says is that people bring money from outside and then bring it to Okahlamba. That is why you did what you're doing. That is why I fully support it, and I'm truly grateful that you actually mentioned that whilst you are in this particular gathering. So people are actually getting value out of this. I'm going to proceed with other local municipality. This award is for the improved local municipality in the category of leadership, financial and performance management and governance. So it's most improved in terms of all the local municipalities that were assessed. Yes, there are some challenges, but they have improved in their governance and issues that I just mentioned. And the local municipality, unfortunately, is not here, but UPO will help me in receiving that award, which goes to Umtubatuba Local Municipality. people will help me to receive it from the southern side.
Bazan, yazi babazan. Angizojabula. Izoyiredwe. Izoyiredwe babazan.
And then the next one is for the most consistent local municipality in the category of accountability, quality of AFS compliance, no regular expenditure and financial health has improved, and that goes to this local municipality, Umzumbe local municipality. This is a district. I don't know when this district is formed. It seems to keep on being mentioned. They didn't get a clean audit, but on consolidation of the financials, they were the best in the province. This district seems to always be getting awards. I don't know why, but they are always getting. It seems to be they are the best if they are always getting awards. So if someone is always getting awards, just means they're the best. Because I always mention this municipality has always been the best. This municipality is receiving the award for the best performing district municipality in the category of leadership, financial, performance management, governance, and compliance. And that municipality is Ilembe district.
What do you decide?
And then now just 3 more to go and then we'll be done. These awards, as I said, they were taken from the COGTA submission that was given. The best performing municipality in the category of this project, Back to Basics, Yaikona, COGTA. And the best performing municipality goes to Nongoma local municipality. The next one also in the best performing category goes to, on the Back to Basics project, Inkosi Langalibalele local municipality. COGTA actually of file submission, and that is what has come up. This is the last one for best performing in the category of Section 46 performance, and this goes to Ubuhlebezwe local municipality. Ubuhlebezwe local municipality. Ubuhlebezwe local. I'm sure there would have been so many awards given had they been some of the Umamuga issues or some of the best performance and case studies if they were to be known. Sometimes we do some of these things without others knowing what is happening, but I'm hoping that as we're starting this, people can tell us what is happening in the municipalities, and then we can be able to give honor and appreciation where it's due. And that is our undertaking as well, so that we can recognize those who are doing their level best in their respective municipalities. So with these words on my side, was this, I will be sitting down from here on. Thank you so much for being here. Earlier we've been worried because leadership being Akamu, bekusakhona leadership encane and sakhona esinkulu ebizwa corrective. But siyabonga kakhulu ukuthi at least now we've got a full house. We truly appreciate ukuthi nisakhona. In July beqala late, so we are about to go to the last session and then abafuna ukuyojoin abasebeyoqhubeka. Thank you so much from my side. Ngiyabonga.